author and nutritionist Robert Ferguson. Please welcome Robert Ferguson.
All right, y'all, let's hear it for America's Fat Loss Coach, Robert Ferguson!
Boom! That's what I'm talking about. This is the Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. What's up, everybody? I feel like Lacey Green right there. As soon as I said it, everybody. Okay, if you are new to me, I want to say thank you for tuning in, whether you are catching the live or the replay. But if you are live and you are catching me, you just happen to be catching me, then say hi. Go in the comment area, no matter where you are, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and say, what's up, Robert Ferguson? Yes, I am your nutritionist, and I am here to share because I care. And this morning I had it's like every day I have these amazing conversations with my clients. And I just got to go there on this one because it just blew my mind. And I hear it all the time. Now, before I share what I'm going to share, let me just first say, I am not here to be disrespectful to anyone who's a physician, doctor. I have a lot of friends who are physicians. I have the utmost respect for the work, the profession of being a board certified physician. Same for naturopaths, you name it. But what I want to share with you today is really not about doing a dig on them, but empowering you to become your own health advocate. Because if you are not informed, okay, like seriously informed, you are more likely to be influenced by people who may be misinformed. And as you mature in life, you get older and older and older, well, there's not a whole bunch of room to be making mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, if you get to a place where you got to go on dialysis or your kidney failure is at a place where there's no turning back, there's no turning back. So let's make the most of where we are and move forward. Now, if any of you are aware of the work that I do, 9 out of 10 people that I work with, right, this is all substantiated, who are type 2 diabetic, in 12 to 18 months, they're no longer a type 2 diabetic. 8 out of 10 people that I work with who are on high blood pressure medication, in 12 to 18 months, they're no longer on high blood pressure medication. Well over 50% in the same time frame of people who take a statin for cholesterol that has all of these side effects, right? So that means if 10 of you are taking a statin because you have high cholesterol, and we decide to work with you, whether it's me or one of our coaches, with our evidence-based, clinically proven methodology, you're no longer taking a statin. And we know that people who are taking a statin don't live as long as people who don't take a statin. We know that if you are on high blood pressure medication, that's going to eventually put you in a place where you're going to have kidney challenges, other organ challenges. And most people who become or are on high blood pressure medication, no matter what their weight is like, eventually evolve to where they're a type 2 diabetic. And then you just have all of these challenges. And then you have those of you who are taking metformin. You don't like taking metformin. Now, you can get used to almost anything, right? People stay in abusive relationships. You can get used to almost anything, but you know you don't like that. And what we know is that 87% of the people that we work with, so almost 9 out of 10 that are taking metformin, will no longer have to take metformin. And that's what I want to share with you. Okay, now if you're catching me and you have not been to our YouTube channel and you like the information that I'm sharing, go to the YouTube channel, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell, and make sure you're clear that you want to be notified whenever we go live or I upload any type of video. All right, so let's get into this. Before we do that, I'm going to give a big shout out to Sandy Silver's in the house. I'm glad you're catching me, Sandy. I'm glad you are catching me. I also want to give a big shout out to Kimberly. Kate, I'm glad you are catching me. And you guys and whoever hasn't made a comment, you know what? If you're catching the replay, share this information. Okay, share because you care. Someone may be inspired by what I'm about to share, and it can help them. Okay, it can help them. All right. Okay, this is what happened. One of my clients, before I dive in, there she is, the one and only Miss Sharon's in the house. And Sharon is all my clients are great. I'm actually coaching Sandy right now. I'm also coaching Sharon. These are great human beings, and I am thankful because I learned from them, and I'm fueled by their passion to literally be their own health advocate. So this is what I want to share with you. One of my clients was taking metformin, was pre-diabetic. She also had high blood pressure, and not for like a week or a year or 2 years, over 20 years. Okay. And this person's not that old. At the time when I started working with her, she was 52 years of age. Today, she's 54 years of age. And she decided that she was going to just really run with this. So we worked together and made progress. And we get to this place where, and I'm not a physician, so I can't tell you to stop taking the meds. But she decides, I'm going to miss a day or two of this metformin. And when she doesn't take the metformin, she notices her blood sugar levels drop. Now, in my experience, I see this like very common. And it also is, I'm going to give credit to the fact that the way she's eating, right? She's eating the Diet Free Life methodology that way. So her blood sugar levels are great. And then her blood pressure was looking good. I said, start monitoring your blood pressure. So she has a cuff and her blood pressure was looking good. And so she decided to go with a half amount of do half of the dosage she had for her prescription. Her blood pressure is good. Now, this isn't a week or 2 weeks. We're talking months go by. Now she's not taking her blood pressure medication, and her blood pressure is the best she's seen in years. So her blood pressure is great. She's no longer taking the blood pressure medication. Her glucose is great. She has no signs that she's a pre-diabetic. She's not taking the metformin. And then she goes to see the doctor. And the doctor is real quick to look, oh, you've lost some weight. Great. And then she shares, okay, my client shares out loud, I just want you to know I stopped taking the metformin. The doctor's like, what? You stopped taking the metformin? What? And it's almost like they take it personally. Like, what the hell's going on here? Yeah, look at my glucose. Hemoglobin A1C, no signs of prediabetes. Normal hemoglobin A1C. Fasting glucose, amazing. Now, this doctor had already checked her blood pressure and it looked great. So as the doctor has this attitude, right, that I can't believe you stopped taking that without, you and I talking about it. This client, he's kind of quiet, but, goes to the next thing and says, well, I stopped taking the blood pressure medication. What? 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 Now, the doctor has seen her blood pressure and sees that it's normal. So how long have you not been taking your blood pressure? Like 6 months. Oh my God. I can't believe. Now, when I was talking to my client, this is what I would have said if I was in her shoes. I would have said, excuse me, doc, can I ask you a question? The doctor would have said, yes. Why is it that you haven't asked me or consulted me on how to get off of these meds? It's like you got to just put it back on them. Because here it is. If she didn't become her own health advocate and take that bull by the horns, she would still be on blood pressure medication. She would still be taking metformin. And she would still be headed in a direction where she's a full-blown type 2 diabetic. But because she took control of her health, which many of us need to do, some of you guys are listening and you haven't done it yet. I don't know what you're waiting on. And sometimes people don't do it. Like I was talking to another client today and I said, a lot of men won't do it because their ego gets in the way. There's a whole bunch of men that hear me and they hear me talk and they come up with all kinds of excuses why they don't step up to the plate and just take charge of their health. I don't get that, guys. I don't get it. And a lot of your husbands and boyfriends are the same. I don't know why men are that way. A lot of them, they don't even want to go to the doctor. They don't want to be told or informed that their shit has gotten worse. I'm talking about it gets worse, you guys. It doesn't get better unless you're doing something to get it better. And then you have people who have a preconceived idea of what they think they're going to be doing, right? Because our Diet Free Life family, people who know the methodology, we're like telling people we eat carbs. There's nothing I can't eat. And I share this with a whole bunch of personal trainers, other nutritionists, and they just stare at me because I don't know, is that ego? Their clients continue to be stuck. Their patients continue to be stuck. Their health continues to decline when there's a solution. I mean, you help me. You know, it's that Tom Cruise moment. It's like, help me help you. Help me help you. It's like that. There's that moment. So that's all psychology, you guys. That is all psychology. You know people that don't give 2 cents about making any changes. And they don't even realize that they don't even got to make much of a change. So they will rather live with the side effects and live with the ongoing deterioration that's taking place in their organs because of a lot of these meds. They will rather stay stuck. In the words of Dr. Phil, they would rather be right than improve. And there's nothing you can do about that. I share with the coaches all the time. There's nothing you can do about that. People are just going to they just want to stay stuck. And then they'll find something because they discovered it. And you see this with kids from a psychological standpoint, right? They come home and they go, hey, I'm doing keto on Monday. I'm starting keto. Hey, I'm starting this diet. And then that diet makes their situation worse. And as you get older, it has a stronger negative impact on you than when you were much younger. And then they don't want to admit out loud that, yeah, I made a mistake. Because again, sometimes you make a mistake, there is no reversing the damage that will take place because you decided that you wanted to do it your way. That would be like me. I mean, I don't know how to fix cars. I mean, I have a bumper that I got to fix on my car. I could go, you know what, I'm gonna figure this out. And there are some people that can figure it out. I would rather take it to one of my friends who's a pro at that. Same as if it was nutrition, weight loss, health related, he may come to me because he knows that I'm good at that. And be humble. I don't need to, I don't have anything to prove. So I would rather take it to someone who's going to really help me. But at the same time, I may watch a YouTube video. I may do some due diligence to get an idea of how it works, just to make sure that maybe I could have done it. I don't know. So interesting. It is so interesting. Now, if you guys have any questions that pertains to this, or you want to share anything, I'm all ears. You know, I have one of our coaches on here. Let's see, I think we got Susie in the house. Susie and I were just talking. She's got some clients, and it's challenging. It is so challenging because we want to help people. But as I think Susie was sharing with me, you know, sometimes the doctor will share information with our clients that is not accurate. But because they are looked upon as the end all be all, that means they have like the white coat, you know what I mean? Then if they say the salmon's high in, you know, mercury, it must be high in mercury. But that person don't know, because I hear all the time doctors recommending people to do these crazy ass diets. And I meet them, man, I wish you guys could be a fly on the wall when I'm having these conversations with some of these people that are just giving horrible advice to their patients. I mean, it's mind blowing. And I'm not a jerk about it. You know what I mean? Like if you know me or if you listen to me, I'm not a jerk. I'm not like a pompous guy trying to like push my way on anything. I just ask questions. And those questions will put that person in a position where it will take them to a place where they go, I guess I really don't know. No, you really don't know. Same as if you took me down this rabbit hole about how to like do a heart transplant. I mean, I don't know. I mean, think about that. It is absolutely crazy. So anyway, someone says, my docs still recommend drugs and surgery, even after I tell them I lost weight. Wow. Well, we know that for sure. I mean, I was talking about that the other day. You go in, they see you have lost weight. You tell them that you were able to eat carbs and you didn't have to avoid food groups. You learned about nutrition and got these amazing results. I mean, here's an example. One of my clients who was a type 2 diabetic, we fully reversed his type 2 diabetes. Yes, he lost weight, but yet losing weight is not indicative of the fact that you have better health. There are people who lose weight and become more unhealthy, right? So to me, it's not just losing weight that makes you healthier. It's everything else. And I could go into great detail about that. And by the way, I am doing part 2 of a seminar, online seminar. Don't miss it. It's next Wednesday. If you're catching this early, May 3rd at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. And I'm going to share some things, because if you saw the first one, then you know I shared something that you hadn't heard before, or it was some very helpful information. Well, we're going to go to a whole nother level, man. I'm going to open up a can of that was awesome. So don't miss that one. And if you want, you can reach out to us. Go to my website at dietfreelife.com if you want to watch the first one. You'll see a button on there, or like in the menu, where we have seminar replay. So anytime we have a replay, let's say you guys are catching this weeks later, you're catching this on Facebook or somewhere, and you're like, man, that would have been good. Go to our website. You'll probably have access to it. And if you do our challenge, or like come inside that community at dietfreelife.com, all of these webinars that I'm doing, they will be there, so you can watch and listen to them as many times as you want, take notes, and take advantage of that information, so that you are informed and you can apply it, and you can be like my client this morning. No longer diabetic, no longer blood pressure medication. Take full control of your health and run with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Boom. Okay, let's see here. Someone says, but don't you want to lose more faster? Oh, so that's what the doctor said. Well, that is sad. The good part is that you are fully aware of how sad that is. You are fully aware. Same as my client I mentioned the other day, who everyone saw her totally transform her body, lose weight, improve overall health, and then they recommend she go and use Ozempic. Okay, I'm going to end on this. And any of you who are my coaches, okay, let me see. Somebody's from the southern states, home and land. Hello. Well, whoever you are, hello back to you. I'm going to share something right now. If you're catching me, I want you to hang on to, I'm going to share something right now. I'm going to do it as fast as I can so I can say goodbye. You want to own what I'm going to say, because there's a lot of confusion around what motivates doctors. Like, how do they get paid? And if I ask that question, like right now, how do you think doctors get paid? Now, if you've heard me share this before, then don't blow it for everybody else. But how do you think they get paid? Like, do they get paid from the pharmaceutical industry? Do they get paid every time they prescribe medication? Like, how do they get paid? It's important to know that, because the one client that I was talking about the other day, and the one even today, when she went in and her doctor was upset that she's no longer taking metformin and is no longer taking blood pressure medication. Financially, why would that upset or frustrate a physician? What is the negatives of that? Okay, from a financial standpoint, do you know it? If you don't know it, I'll just go right into it and explain it, because most people just don't know this. And I can tell you right now, doctors are not getting paid when they prescribe you medication. That's not why they get paid. That's not the main incentive. I mean, it kind of is, and I'm going to explain it. And the pharmaceutical companies, it's illegal. They can't pay doctors. And you can say, well, they probably do it under the table. They probably, no, they can't. That was all changed some years ago. They cannot do that anymore. They cannot do that anymore. Okay. This is what happens. Okay, I'm just going to break it down. Remember this and share it with other people. I go to the doctor once a year. I have an annual checkup, and I have a copay. So I go in, and my copay may be $10. Now, that makes it easier on me financially, but then my insurance, because I pay these premiums, they pay whatever the balance is. So the doctor gets paid that way. And then the doctor has to bill the insurance company for my one visit a year. Okay, remember that. Robert has one visit to the doctor a year, one time a year. Now, my client, who I was talking about earlier, who's on metformin, and, so we're concerned with her diabetes and high blood pressure medication, she goes in every 3 to 4 months. So let's say every 3 months, because that's when they can check the hemoglobin A1C. That's how they do their follow-ups is protocol. And the insurance companies are happy about that. So she goes in 4 times a year. So I go in 1 time a year. The doctor gets paid for that 1 time. My client, who I mentioned earlier, who's diabetic, was on blood pressure medication, she goes in 4 times a year. So every time for 4 times, that doctor gets paid. Now, if you're on Ozempic or Wegovy or Trulicity or Mounjaro, these weight loss drugs, you got to go in once a week to get the shot. Did you hear what I just said? How many weeks are there in a year? Somebody answer that. I want to make sure you guys aren't falling asleep. How many weeks, somebody posts, are in a year? I'm just going to sit here and wait. I'll just keep talking. I may even start singing. How many weeks are in a year? How many? Somebody post in the comments. Post in the comments. How many weeks? Okay. Just play with me. Just roll with me on this. Okay. How many weeks in a year? Okay. Somebody can't post. Okay. Thank you. Somebody post. There's 52 weeks in a year. There's 52 weeks in a year. That's a doctor's visit. I go once a year. Some people go every 3 months. That's 4 doctor visits. If you have to go every week, that's 52 doctor visits. Every doctor visit, that doctor gets paid. Not because the prescription. If you go by metformin, he doesn't get paid for that. But if you have to go in or call in and they can write it down as a doctor visit, they get paid. So this drug is helping a lot of people, a lot of physicians make money because someone's going in every week for 52 weeks. That's a payment every week. It takes 52 years for that doctor to make that money off of me compared to someone who's taking this drug, because the drug is not administered on your own. You have to go in, and the med spas are making bank. They are not thinking about the long-term effects because everyone who's taking these drugs right now are part of the experiment. We're already seeing all these negatives. Of course. So with my client the other day, she goes in, she's lost the weight. She's off the med. She's doing great. And they still encourage her to take Ozempic. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. We should be outraged over this stuff. Are you kidding me? I get off the meds. I learn how to eat. I'm feeling great. And you want me to take the drug? Why do they want you to take the drug? That's 52 visits. And guess what? They're recommending this to kids. So that kid, like Coca-Cola, get them young. They ain't getting off this drug. They want them on it for a lifetime. And all the other health problems that pop up, that's more visits. You know anybody that goes to the doctor like more than like once a week? There are quite a few of you. Some of them are listening to this replay or they're catching it live. Yes, I'm talking about you. And it's sad because we get pulled in. Next thing you know, we're in there all the time. And then when you look at the family unit, people pick up the same habits in the family. They're going in more. Everybody's going in more. And doctors are making bank right now, making bank. I wish I could get a doctor to go on the record. I really do. Because the ones who are prescribing or these med fasts, you probably can get one of them. But they're not going to do it now because they're making money. They're sitting back going, think about it. Let's say you had 10 people. Okay, if 10 people come in, okay, what, once a year? Once every 3 months? Every day? You just changed everything for that person's business. That's why this is like gold to these guys. Put everybody on it. And then it starts to feed other industries, right? People are losing hair. People get Ozempic face. They go to the dermatologist. They're trying to like, all right, let's do some Botox. So it's like you take one thing, creates a problem, then it creates another problem for another business. And then these people are just spiraling. And then they're afraid to get off of that drug. They are afraid to stop taking it. because they know that they're going to gain the weight back. Everything that was suppressed as far as like their appetite, their desire to eat, all of that will come back like a monster. Oh, man. All right. Any questions, you guys, before I say bye? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Like, I mean, really, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything that's, it's the truth. This is what's going on right now. Right now. That being said, I don't know if you guys knew it, but today is National Slurpee Day. I was informed of that. And I'm going to take my daughter to get a Slurpee, and I may even get one. I don't know. I like Slurpees. Like if we find a place, I think there's a Dairy Queen, I may go get a small little Slurpee and have it with my daughter. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I thought that was really cute because growing up, Slurpees were like one of my favorites. And as I think about it, I smile because it reminds me of childhood and just running around and just on a hot day getting a Slurpee. Obviously, it's not something that I would do on a regular daily basis. And if I had a specific goal, I wouldn't enjoy it, but I may take her to enjoy it. I mean, I don't know, but I was thinking about it. I think it's cute. Okay, Sandy says 7-Eleven may have them. Okay, yeah, 7-Elevens. Anyway, it's in my head. You know what I mean? So if it's in your head, you start thinking about it, then next thing you know, you're doing it. Now, if my daughter doesn't want one, then it ain't going to happen. So we are thinking about food right now. It's time for us to have our little late lunch. But anyway, you guys, share the good news over to Diet Blues. Let's help some people. And for those of you who are in the industry, maybe you're a nurse practitioner, maybe you're a doctor, maybe you're becoming a nutritionist, maybe you're a personal trainer, maybe you just like health and you just want to share. I mean, come on. And for those of you who are taking these drugs, man, God bless you. I hope what I believe is going to happen doesn't happen. Unfortunately, I'm already seeing the things that I hope wouldn't happen is happening, right? The loss of hair, the disruption in the gut, imbalanced gut, health is like totally getting worse because of this drug. All those side effects from diarrhea to crampiness to dizziness, it's just sad. And now sarcopenia, which means vanishing flesh, meaning people are losing muscle and bone. And some of you guys are over 55, 50, and you're losing muscle at this age. You really think you're getting that back? No. So all the people that are a little older and are losing weight, yeah, they may lose weight on that scale, but it is the wrong damn weight. Oh, Lord, help us. Help us, Lord, for they not know what they do, right? And I'm not preaching. I'm not putting the finger down on anybody. Again, my whole point for this call was not to go all the way there, but to say, hey, let's become our own health advocate. You own this. And if you're my client, I'm all about. That's why every time we do a coaching session, my job is to teach you something that you didn't already know, or to remind you of something that you knew, and to encourage you to keep doing the thing that you know. But it's knowledge, is having the knowledge and understanding. And of course, when you have accountability, it makes it way easier to stay the course. Even when you get off, we get right back on. Amen. All right, you guys, have a good one. Be well. Remember, I share because I care. I'm Robert Ferguson. You can contact me and learn more at Diet Free Life.